Lindsay here of Ames's Antics. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're well today because I have a new crafty project to share with you, and one where I've teamed up with JDiction and their ResinCrete range. Now ResinCrete is very similar to resin, however it becomes in a powder form to create some beautiful, smooth and durable designs. It's a bit easier to use than resin, and you don't need all the kit and caboodle of the safety equipment because this is eco-friendly and safe to use as well. So if you would like to see how to make your own coaster or cake stand using ResinCrete and having a look at this fabulous kit, then let's get crafting. So here is a kit that JDiction kindly sent to me to try out. It is the complete ResinCrete 30-minute demolding kit, and it has everything you need in here to get crafting some beautiful designs such as coasters, which I'm going to have a go at in a little bit. And this kit is fabulous as you can get crafting from the get-go even if you're a beginner, and better still, it helps you craft responsibly with the eco-friendly resin. Before we have a full look into the kit, keep watching till the end of the video for a discount code where you can get 5% off your own ResinCrete kit. And now we're going to have a look at the contents of the box. First up in the kit is the silicone molds that you're going to need to place your ResinCrete into, and you get 3 different designs that are different shapes and sizes, and these are really good silicone molds. They're a slightly better quality than one of the other molds that I'm going to use in this video. And then the next thing in the kit is the ResinCrete itself. Now the ResinCrete is a mineral-based formula designed by JDiction, and it offers an eco-friendly and user-friendly solution, so it's not got all of your normal chemical emissions found in traditional epoxy and UV resin, so it's perfect to get to crafting. And to help with measuring out that powder, we have a scoop, and this was so helpful. It did really help measure out that powder. You also get some mixing cups with some measurements on the side to help mix up your creation. And you also get these wonderful colorants to colour up your designs and add that pop of colour to your coaster or whatever you're making. They come in these really handy dropper bottles and have a range of colours that you can mix and match and create other ones as well. Fabulous colorants. Also in the box you get some protective gloves so your hands don't get messy, as well as a mixing spatula or a spatula just to even out that ResinCrete, and this was really good quality. I think I could use this for other crafting as well, but yes, it did come in very handy. You also get some sanding paper just to smooth off your designs if there are any rough edges, and you might find with some molds you do get some more rougher edges. And then finally you get a little pot of finishing wax, and this just goes on to the end of the designs once they are all hardened and helps to seal them in. And that is everything that you need, including the kit, to create some fabulous designs. So let's get on to creating some coasters and a cake stand. So before actually starting the craft, I decided to try out the protective gloves, and look, my hands are tiny and these were absolutely massive on me, so I'm actually swapping to use my own vinyl gloves for this that are a bit more well fitting, just because I thought it would help. But these are perfect if you've got larger hands. And now that we have our protective gloves on, it is time to get into the crafting. And here is what the ResinCrete powder looks like when you open the bag. It is a brilliant bright white powder, and I'm assured it stays white once it is cured. So I'm going to try out the larger coaster mold that came in the kit, the bobbly coaster I have named it, and I'm just trying to work out how much powder I need, because it is a ratio of 10 to 3, so 10 of the powder to 3 of water. Now I measured out that I needed 154 grams of the powder to fit the mold, and then worked out the ratio for this. So for every 100 grams of powder it would be 30 grams of water. So I have done some calculations, and I believe it was times in a total weight by 0.3, and that gives you the amount of water you needed. So I needed 49.6 grams of water to mix together, and this is what we have here. Now it is really easy from this point onwards. and you have about 10 minutes playing room to mix it and get it into that mold. So I'm just adding the water to that dry powder, and then just using a lollipop stick to blend it all together. And you do need to mix this quite a bit to get a lump-free blend, and that is really important. You do not want any lumps left, and it should be like a bit of a milky, silky consistency as below. It's quite runny. But yeah, this is what you are looking for. Then what I wanted to do is create two-tone to the coaster. So I am just splitting the mixture sort of in half between the two measuring cups that came into the kit, and I'm going to colour each one differently, remembering that I only have 10-minute working time, and you can start to feel it thicken if you are getting close to that 10 minutes. So this was my first mistake. Now they do recommend that you only add 2% of the total weight, so that would be 4 grams in total for this, and that's not anywhere near. But yes, my first mistake is adding black instead of blue. I wanted a blue and pink coaster, and instead I've got a bit of a grey. So here I am just rectifying that mistake by adding a few more drops of blue. And I guess the black has just darkened the blue a little bit, but it does come out a bit more of a grey blue than the blue I was anticipating. And another thing to note with the colorant is that because of the whiteness of that mineral extract powder, that the colours will be a little bit more muted or pastel in tone, so you might need to add a little bit more colorant if you want a deeper, richer colour for this. And then it's time to add the two to that silicone mould, and remembering you've got 10 minutes to play about with mixing and adding the colourant as well as pouring it into the mould. So I am just going for a bit more of a swirly design, I guess a little bit tie-dye in colour, and just adding them all in, hoping I have calculated enough of that mixture to fit in that mould. Just trying to create a bit of a cool design with the two colours. And once everything is added to the mould, you just need to set it aside and let it cure, and it will be cured in around 30 minutes, and you will feel it starting to harden in that time. And then I really wanted to test out the ResinCrete by using one of my own moulds that I've previously used with resin rather than the ResinCrete, and I wanted to create a cake stand. So I am told that crafts made with ResinCrete are not only durable, heat proof, but they are also food safe and then waterproof when sealed. So I wanted to test this out by making something that was designed to hold food. So here I am testing that out. And then to add a little bit of sparkle, I also wanted to test the resin with adding a little bit of silver leaf to see if I could create a bit of glitz and glam within that sort of concrete-y look. And I'm also adding a little bit of mica powder, because you can use mica powder with ResinCrete to create a little bit of sparkle. And I wanted to see if you could see some of that sparkle, given that it is so smooth and that concrete type look to it. So here I am just adding it all to that base mold. The cake stand comes in 3 parts, so I am splitting this down into 3 separate sort of molds and weighing the amount out for that. Now I found the bottom mold, I probably needed a little bit more of the ResinCrete. I didn't quite calculate it correctly, but I am just changing up and adding more colour as the sort of cake stand goes up to really test out the threshold of adding in the colours and creating some nice swirly designs. And as you can see, look how smooth it is, and it is self-leveling and doesn't have any bubbles once it is in. Just leaving them to cure for 30 minutes each. And with the magic of editing, 30 minutes has passed and it is time to unmold the designs, and as you can see, they pop right out of the mold without any issues, and just look at how smooth they look. The texture is just beautiful and it feels very durable in the hand. Even after such a short curing time, they feel like they will really stand the test of time. And as you can see, this mold is a little bit thinner than the other one, but it pops out beautifully. And you can sort of see where I've had some issues of not fully filling the mold. It is a bit more jaggy in places and maybe not as level, but again I think that is the mold rather than the design. Now there are some rough edges just where it has gone up and left a little lip from where the mold is, so I'm just using that sandpaper just to smooth it out, and I didn't need a lot of pressure. It sanded down really quickly and smoothly, wasn't a lot to it really. The other one did take a little bit more, just because there was more rough edges and unevenness, again because I don't think I measured it properly, not because of the resin cure, but I'm just tidying up some of those edges. One thing I did notice that it was sort of blending the colour a little bit when sanding it, so just take that into account with your designs. And then to seal these designs and make them waterproof, I am just using some kitchen roll and that wax that came into the kit to rub it all over the coaster and cake stand to seal them. And what I found with this was it did enhance the colour a bit as well. Now I wasn't quite sure how much I needed to put on, but I just made sure that all of the design was covered to give it a bit more sealability and waterproofness. And then the final thing to do was to assemble the cake stand, and seeing how the resin cure withstood being put together with these metal rods. Now I bought these separately on Amazon and they weren't provided by JDiction, but the ResinCrete did withstand the pressure of being put together by the metal rods, washers and protective things, and it actually went together quite easy. I did find that the cake stand was a bit wobbly in places, but again I think that is the mold and it's not how the ResinCrete has sort of cured. It's how it's cured because of the mold, if that makes sense. But with a little bit of wiggling about, that you can get them nice and straight. So yeah, this is just the process of assembling that cake stand. And here are the results of the ResinCrete crafting session. So there you have working with ResinCrete by JDiction and creating some really fab designs using it. Now I absolutely loved using this kit. Not only was it so easy to use, like mixing the formulas together 10-3, mix into your mold, 30 minutes, bing bang bosh, done, and you get this beautiful result at the end. And I am not lying, it is a really good quality finish. I don't know if it's quite picking up, but it has its own little smooth sheen to it. You can sort of see it, and look how solid. Can you hear that? How solid that feels. It's like proper ceramic. Like I'm proper pushing on that and it's not going anywhere. Imagine if it did, that would be embarrassing. But yes, it is nice and solid. I love it. No air bubbles, perfect. 30 minutes from putting it in the mold and it is out. You can, you know, get on with your day, have a little crafty session and move on, and it's ready. I love it. Now the only thing I had with the cake stand, I didn't quite get the measurements right for the mold, so some areas are a bit unlevel because this ResinCrete does level itself out. So even my mold's a bit wonky, I have sort of misjudged the amount I needed, and it's basically user error. It isn't the ResinCrete that has caused the problems. I also use that silver leaf, which has created a bit more of a bumpiness in the texture. Like resin, it would show through because it's clear. This is opaque, more like a ceramic. So yes, maybe I need to figure out how to add in a bit of sparkle the next time I use this ResinCrete, but it's so easy to use and I would highly recommend giving it a go if you want a new craft to test out but don't want all the hassle of resin. And on that note, this is super eco-friendly and safe. It is full of natural ingredients, so you don't need all the rigmarole that you would have with resin, like the masks, the goggles, or the protective gear. I did use gloves, but mainly because I didn't want to get all the colouring on my hands and it stained, as well as just making a mess. I am very messy, so I thought best use some gloves, but I guess you wouldn't actually need that if you're not too messy as well. And you can also do this with kids. They do recommend 13 plus, but I guess if you have a sensible kid, you could have one that's a little bit younger. I would probably attempt this with my niece, and I think she would really enjoy it as well. So yeah, it is just, I have really enjoyed testing this out. So thank you to JDiction for sending me this kit to test out and share with you guys, because it has been a wonderful experience. And if you would like to get creative and crafty yourself with some ResinCrete, they have kindly gifted me a discount code so you can get some discount off your own ResinCrete kit and have a go at making your own masterpieces. And not only that, the brand JDiction sort of want to promote a bit more of art therapy and using craft as a way of helping you mentally and physically. So why not grab a discount code to help you along with that journey? I know how beneficial art therapy is, or just engaging in things that you find meaningful is. It is such a wonder to the soul. And yes, you get a really good result with this ResinCrete, but that isn't the be all and end all of a crafting project. Yes, you do want a nice outcome, but sometimes it's just the doing that is the most important part. And that's the bit that can really help you emotionally, physically, mentally. So yes, give it a go if you want to have fun and creating a nice masterpiece at the end of it. So let me know what you think of this kit and the designs I came up with in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, then please do give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with all my creative and crafty antics coming up onto the channel. Click the notification bell as well, because that will alert you each time a new video goes live. I know I've been a bit hit and miss in the past few months, more miss than hit, I would say, but I'm slowly trying to get back into my crafting journey, so please do click that to keep up with any new stuff coming up onto the channel, as well as check out the blog Ames's Antics, which is linked above and down below. That has a full write-up version of this video and this craft. The links and everything will be in there, as well as the description of here as well. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. If you got this far into the video, I really do appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week and you're able to do something creative and crafty to pass your time, like maybe make your own ResinCrete designs like I have done here. Whatever you choose to do, I hope that you enjoy it, and until the next video, bye.